Greetings, everyone. It is Isaac Wells, the voice of Internet's Skeletor. You're watching Dragonfire Entertainment. And remember, listening to a podcast before bedtime is the adult version of story time. Until we meet again.
What's your poison? Let's drink it tonight. In the glow of the stars, everything feels right. Raise your glasses, let the good vibes pour. Together we'll sing, who could ask for more?
Hello to all of you fellow beer enthusiasts, and welcome back to another edition of What's Your Poison. As always, I'm Wildman Wes. I've realized something in the annals of a few episodes ago. I haven't done a review on some Belgian ales, strictly from Belgium itself. I did find a couple from Petrus Brewing out in Belgium. We have 3 fruited style ales as well as a sour ale. We're going to save that one for the end. But we're going to go through these really quick and we're going to see what they taste like. So let's begin. Our first of the 3 fruited ales from Petrus is the Mango Pineapple. This is 5% ABV, and the description says, it is a delicious combination of the celebrated aged pale ale with natural fruit flavors. Tart notes and ripe fruit flavor enhance the essence of the blended fruit, resulting in a smooth mouthfeel. Experience the supreme blending ability of Petrus. I have actually never had any of these yet. I am very excited because I have been a fan of Belgian ales for a long time, especially since I started doing these beer reviews with my good boy Hefe over at Beer You Beer Me. And I'm not the expert on Belgian ales. He is definitely someone that you want to talk to. But as you're watching this, you'll get an idea that I've learned something. So starting off, very clean, nice golden. The head consistency, still very, very nice. Definitely has that funky, that kind of natural funk. And I'm getting a lot of that sourness of the natural pineapple. Not getting a lot of mango. I could be wrong. On the drive-by, I did get a little sweetness. So we're going to have a taste. Okay, this definitely has more of a wine flavor to it. That's not a bad thing. My concern is that the mango is definitely overpowering the pineapple on this one. It almost gives it a more medicinal flavor in a way, almost a Diamond Tap flavor. If you ever had things like a cherry ale where it tastes a little bit like cough syrup, I wouldn't say it's on the same level, but it definitely has a flavor that's not horrible, but at the same time, if you have a couple of these, your stomach's probably going to be a little upset with you later. However, it's not a horrible beer. When it comes to grading this one, I'm going to be somewhat lenient because with Belgian ales, it's very natural how they are brewed. And it's not very fair for me to dog this one right off the bat. This one is actually still fairly decent. I'm going to say 3 3/4 out of 5 because it is still something that you should introduce somebody that wants to try different ales, especially from Belgium. So I'm going to have a little bit more of this and we're going to move on to our next fruited ale of the day. Moving along into our fruited ale series, we have the Hibiscus Passion Fruit. Again, much like our first beer, this is at 5% ABV. And the description says that this is a delicious combination of the celebrated pale ale, okay, repetition, with the natural fruit flavors. Who am I kidding? It's saying the exact same thing. It's just hibiscus and passion fruit. So I'm just going to spare you the time and the annoyance of hearing the same thing over again. Now, I've had beers that have either hibiscus or passion fruit, not necessarily at the same time. When I've had beers with hibiscus in it, obviously there's going to be a floral aspect to it. There's going to be a dryness. On the passion fruit level, it is going to be rather acidic and fairly sour. And I'm hoping that the hibiscus can definitely ease on the passion fruit, because sometimes brewers can put a little too much passion fruit into their beer. and it can be very, very sour. Now, I don't hate beers that are very, very sour, but passion fruit's one of those things you don't want to play around too much with. And looking at this, it's slightly darker than the one that we had before. The head consistency is a little more frothy than the first one. I can see that it dances a little bit more and doesn't subside as much. We're gonna take a sniff. Okay. Definitely getting a fruity notes. There is a little floral bouquet on the 3 sniff, so there's definitely some hibiscus present. So that makes me very, very comfortable knowing that this one is probably going to be a little bit better than our first beer. So we're gonna have a taste. Mellow. Mellow and sour. This almost tastes like juice. It really does. It tastes a little bit more like a fermented apple juice, but not in a weird way of like fermented apple juice like it's going bad. It tastes like almost like a cider. It's really coming off like a cider ale or a cider beer, and that makes me interested because I'm not used to that, especially in Belgian ales. I'm seeing more of the sour notes and very funky, as Hefe and I would say, the funky. This one isn't as funky as the first one. However, this is rather pleasant, having kind of a juice style flavor profile. And I am definitely saying for this one, my grade is going to go with 4.25 out of 5. This one definitely hits a lot of boxes and checks them off. However, when it comes to a little bit of the flavor, I feel that the hibiscus is almost drowning that passion fruit, where I'm getting a little bit of sour, but not as much. Not as much as I'm expecting. Not a horrible thing, but at the same time it is noticeable. So I'm going to keep sipping on this for a bit, and we're going to move on to our third fruited ale of this 4-beer series. See you in a second. Our last fruited ale in this lineup is going to be the Cranberry Rose. Again, like the other 2 beers, 5%. The description, exactly the same. Don't have to talk about it. When I see it's Cranberry Rose, much like the first ale that we had with the mango pineapple, I'm starting to think it's going to have a little bit of that wine flavor, because cranberry definitely has those type of rich tannins that can be found very much in a Cabernet, and also with rosé. I used to work for a wine distributor, so you get the idea. However, I still hope that this ale holds up. And looking at that color already, it lives up to the name of being a rosé. We have a nice red pinkish hue. Ooh, I'm smelling some sweetness, a little bit of cranberry already. Ooh, okay. We're on to something, folks. I'm already getting a richness, full body, getting a little bit of that acidic tannin from this, from the cranberry, and I'm excited. Here we go. Ooh. Ah. Wow. That is sour. That is funky. It tastes like cranberry juice, only boozy. I like a lot. This one, without question, 5 out of 5. Mainly because of the fact is, I went into this with expectations on the concept of tasting like wine. It has kind of a wine cooler flavor to it, but not as much as what I was expecting. However, the acidity, the tartness in this, the balance of sour, funky, and fruit give it more of that honored Belgian ale fruited style, and it makes me very, very happy. Like I said, it literally took the expectations I had, threw them out the window, gave me something completely different. That is something that every beer reviewer loves to see. And for me, I'm no different. 5 out of 5. I'm going to savor this a little bit more because we still have one more, the main event. What it says, it's quite the sour of the sour. So, stay tuned. Closing out today's episode, we have the aged ale. This is a 7.3% ABV Foeder beer. Now, some of you might be asking me, Wes, what exactly is a Foeder beer? Well, Foeder in Dutch basically means non-porous wooden vat. In this case, it is in a oak foeder, so it's a oak vat, and they mix a lot of mixed fermentation as well as yeast, sometimes bacteria, and also other of nature's grandiose things that come from the sky, and it gives us such great, not just fruited ales, but sours as well as saisons and just the farmhouse funky. And it says this is 5 out of 5 on the sour scale, so I'll be the judge of that. So I'm gonna pop this open because I am excited. Very excited on this one. Ooh. I don't know if you can see it, but it was... Oh, it looked like it was smoking. Smoking sour. So pouring it in already. Ooh, that head consistency look nice. And it definitely has the color similar to our mango pineapple that we had at the beginning of this episode. I'm gonna have a smell. I can smell the sour. I can smell the funk. Okay, enough stalling. We gotta drink this. It's... Oh, hang on a sec. Daddy needs another. That, my friends, is how you make a sour Belgian foeder style ale. I'm doing my best to project, but this just makes me very, very, very happy. 5 out of 5. They were not lying. This literally funky, sour. I wouldn't say smooth, but it gets the job done. And for all of you out there that like a really good sour ale, that love something different, something that will make you appreciate sipping on it, because as you can see, I took quite a big drink, and not just one, but 2. And I need to slow down a little bit. I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life. What is the meaning of life? 42. Or in this generation, I guess it's 6, 7, whatever the hell that means. Before I go down the rabbit hole even further on all that nonsense, we hope you enjoyed this episode on Petrus's Belgian fruited ales as well as their aged ale in the foeder style. If you've happened to have these before and you agree with me, leave a thumbs up. And if not, I understand. Other than that, make sure you share on social media, but most importantly, you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wild Man Wes, and we will see you next time on What's Your Poison, or some of the other stuff that we have here on Dragonfire Entertainment. I'm feeling another beer versus is going to be in order sometime down the line, because we need one before the 24 beers of Christmas. What do you think? I've got one beer already, but you let me know. Until then, cheers.
What's your poison? Let's drink it tonight. In the glow of the stars.